In this world, there must be a knowledge of how to get a boy or girl. Everyone was telling me, it's from God. It's from God. It's God that decides. I said, I don't agree. So I kept searching. Until I came across a document written by many experts.
Okay.
In fact, it was even in a newspaper publication. I read the entire thing. I said, okay, and I said it. So I kept that thing. I decided I will apply it.
In a world where people think that you can just wake up and then get to where you want to go overnight, in a world where people are even fighting each other over prosperity or what we will call fame, wealth, or riches, Heroes Walk has decided to bring to you people that have decided to live a different life, if you want to call it that. But what makes them unique is their ability to do things to impact their world, impact people, make a difference, leave the world a better place. We are talking about people that want to leave a legacy behind. Well, today on the program, we will be talking to someone very special. Now, why did I say he's special? Despite everything he has gone through on this journey of impacting lives and doing something different from other people, which is, looking out for other people and using his gifts, his talents to do something good. In spite of all the challenges, he has stood, he has continued, and he has, in fact, shared his story with a lot of people to encourage them and to tell them that it doesn't matter where you are now, you will surely get to where God has designed you to get to. Oh well, there's going to be a lot of exciting and very, very captivating stories that you would not want to miss. This is Heroes Walk and I'm Susan Uzono. Don't go away. Welcome back. You're still on to Heroes Walk and I'm Susan Uzono. Today we will be talking with Reverend Dr. Etietop Hanson Ekor. He is the presiding overseer of Overcoming World Assembly, OWA, here in Kubwa. Daddy, we're happy to have you in our midst today.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. So the program is about projecting our own, when I say our own, people that are living a life of impact. Yes, it's something really powerful, and that's what Heroes Walk is about. So today we want to get to know you first. It's not just about what you're going to say, it's who you are too. So we want to know who you are.
Thank you, Susan. You're welcome.
Yes. Thank you.
And I am Reverend Dr. Etietop Hanson Ekor. I'm the presiding overseer and the founder of Overcoming World Christian Ministry, also known as Overcoming World Assembly, OWA worldwide. And I also have registered an NGO recently, and it is to help humanity as well. Sure Ways Empowerment for all, Sway Far. So we want to also see how we can help humanity, not only preaching the gospel, but how to train them to become self-reliant, to discover themselves and be who they are supposed to be in a world where economy has really gone down.
That's right.
So while we preach the gospel with the Overcoming World Assembly, on the other hand, we also see how to train people to be able to catch fishes themselves and take care of their lives, so that poverty at a point will join the government to fight it.
Thank you.
I also have a Bible school, Beulah Theological Institute, where we train our pastors, train the people whom the Lord has called to be good disciples and leaders of tomorrow. I also have trumpeters, crusaders, and we are crusaders.
Yes.
We are for revival,
Okay.
trumpeters, crusaders, and revival movement, where we have crusade in various places, seminars where we train ministers. We also empower families.
Okay.
I have a program which I call which is for marriage people, to settle marriage problems. The single people and the married people.
Okay.
And I call it Marriage Miracles Conferences.
Wow.
And with this, we go to a place, we take a weekend.
Okay.
We have time for the married people alone, the single people alone, and on Sunday we combine, and we have seminars for only the singles. We combine the single brothers and sisters together. We also combine the teenagers together. We train them. At a point, we separate the single ladies, the single young men. We train them, give them various things they need to do to be able to be themselves in a world like this, where marriages crash every day.
Okay.
So we, at that moment, we also have the husbands apart, wives apart. At a point, we bring them together. We talk things that are very raw, very raw, that has to do with marriage. The things that break marriages in our time, we face them as they are. We use the language they will understand, because at that point, the singles are apart, our children are apart, and teachers are engaging them in such trainings.
Okay.
That will help their lives. So we have this that we use to package the people. The church started in 1997 in May 11th.
Okay.
And God has been helping us. I've been as an apostle, I oversee and see what goes on. Though I don't carry the title apostle, but that's who I am. And God has been helping. We've been able to raise leaders, train the disciples, train the leaders to be able to face the leadership of this century, because it's different from when we gave our life to Christ 1979. When we gave our life to Christ 1979, it was we were facing heaven, evangelism, live a holy life, and some of us were praying we should die, let us not be polluted by this world. And so we discovered that the world needs us. God needs us to be here to be able to do certain things. So that's what we are doing. The world is coming to an end, and if we don't impact lives and make people's lives to be transformed to such a life that they will be able to help others, and when we are gone, the people who have helped are able to raise others and raise others and raise others, mean our effort is in vain.
That's right.
So that is what I am doing. That's what we are on together. Thank you.
Thank you too. That's a lot.
Yes.
And in fact, that is why we're here, and that is why we're featuring you on Heroes Walk, because it's important that people know that there's a lot of that surprise to pay for the prize.
Yes.
It's very, very important that those out there know this.
Yes.
Okay, we want to also move closer to get to know you more. Tell us a little about your family.
Oh, I'm married with children.
Okay.
I'm married to Etietop Hanson.
Okay.
I married 1991 February 9, and we have 4 children together. And the 4 children, 3 of them have graduated.
Oh.
And the last one is about to enter into university.
Okay. Okay.
So we are all, by God's grace, serving the Lord.
Okay.
Some are furthering their education. My second daughter is doing her master's in law.
Okay.
The Unilag, Lagos. The other ones are looking forward to get themselves engaged in, and we are all serving the Lord together.
Okay, thank you very much. Another reason why this program is on is to let people know that even if someone has made up his mind to look out for other people, that person is still human. We're just helped by God.
Yes.
You know, so we want to know, do you have a favorite color?
Yes, that is blue, and I like white.
Okay.
I like blue.
Okay. that's interesting.
Yes.
And favorite meal?
Oh, African meal, and that is the vegetable, and what to swallow with it. I like wheat now.
Okay.
I like wheat.
Okay.
I like pounded yam.
Oh,
yes.
That's
But
interesting.
now I measure on wheat.
Okay.
And other flowers like plantain flowers and all that.
Oh, thank you
Yes.
very much.
Yes.
Now we at least we're a little bit close, and we know that the journey has not always been smooth.
Yes.
Tell us where you started. Tell us a little about the challenges you went through and how you overcame by the help of God.
Oh, thank you, Susan. I told you I gave my life to Christ 1979 August. That was when I was in secondary school. We finished our class 3. That time we used to call class 3 exam. Went for holiday. During the holiday, I embraced Christ. Some Methodists, I was born in Methodist, and some youth from Methodist church came from Calabar to do a program in our area. Now local government, that time 18 local government. I'm from Akwa Ibom. So when they came, I participated and I gave my life to Christ, and I joined the Scripture Union. From the Scripture Union, I left the secondary school, came to Abuja because my pa could not train, said he had no money to help us go into our institution. So I left to Abuja 1981, finished my secondary school 1981, so I came to Abuja 1982. There Abuja was just bush. Oh no, there was no single building in the city now that was completed, not one. They were building the roads in Wuse, Julius Berger, and Dumex was building in Garki, and eventually all that happened today, I saw it in Abuja here. So by the grace of God, I came as a born-again Christian, joined Assemblies of God Church, 1982, August. And then I knew about Deeper Life Bible Church when I was in the States. So I attended their retreat by December in Calabar, and Naked by Easter before I came to Abuja. So I heard that they had Bible study center in Suleja, and they used to come from Mina to handle something. So I went there. Because of that, my reverend, so we were about 5 of us, my Reverend Emmanuel Ihoma is now the district superintendent of Assemblies of God Church, one of the districts here in Abuja. We have 3 districts now. So he expelled us on account of going to the Bible study. And we left, and that was September 2nd Sunday. They expelled us. So the 3rd Sunday we started the Bible Church. We were just about maybe 6 of us. We started 1983, and with that we started until the Abuja own came. Gariki became a town, habitable town. Wuse became a habitable town. We had to move into those places. There was that center team in Nyanya. Okay. So Nyanya joined hand with us. We had Garki, later we had Wuse, and all that happened. So eventually I became the district pastor of Karumo, where I started from. Okay. Karumo district, and by 1990 I became the district pastor there. Kubwa, Buhari, Mbappe, Utako, Lugbe, Zuba, and all of that, they were under me. Over 38 churches that time in Karumo as the headquarters and me as the leader. So I had no problem at all with the church. They loved me, I loved them. And at a point I went into, for all that I was doing on part-time. So the church grew to the point that 1993, my state overseer said I should go on full-time because the church was suffering. There were around 800, 1,000 in membership. So I resisted, but the urge within me, but I wanted to be in business. She leave me, let me be a pastor church and also take care of my family because I like it, the kind of life I like to live. Begging or dash will not give me that kind of life. So I discovered that there was tumult within me. The Holy Spirit didn't allow me to stop all of that. I mean, to remain doing business. I registered the business at Etietop Global Company in Nigeria. So I was using it to do work with the government and the private company. We take contracts, we erect buildings, renovate, make supplies, and all of that. Went into printing, students loans board then, and all of that. So I didn't want to leave that. I wanted to be on my own, but the Lord prevailed. By January 1st, 1994, I had to submit into full time. So I was there until I thought that gave me a peace with God internally. And then by the end of it, I started having some other problems that I wasn't, I didn't understand. Because we made a vow, we will never live deeper life, this is where we die. So, 1995, it became obvious that there was something disturbing me. So I gave it a thought. I said, what is it? So I said, oh God, if you actually want me to leave this church, give me a land. He gave me land. I said, that is too cheap. I gave him tough conditions. He made them all. I said, okay. So I then started praying. I got to discover that I had to leave the Bible Church for an independence ministry where I didn't know how. I didn't know. So it was then 1996 I asked God, I said, Lord, when I am sure, I wrote down all the revelations. I said, when am I leaving this place? He was silent. He was silent until I said, okay, by March next year I'll drop my resignation. But God, I don't have anything, I don't know anybody, and I don't know where I'm even going. I just want to have peace. So I dropped my resignation, went to the state overseer. He linked up with the general superintendent, Pastor W. Kumi, our dad, and he discussed with him. So he told me he wanted to talk with him during the retreat. So he allowed me, the message they gave me for the retreat, even though I dropped my letter, he allowed me to preach. I functioned. He gave me money, go and buy tarpaulin for the retreat that was coming. I went to Zaria. I bought the tarpaulin, I was faithful till the last day. So after 29th of April, I had to preach the last message and told them bye. And they released me. I went to the Garaki and prayed for me. I left. So that is how it was. And I started this work, built it. It was awesome. The Lord blessed us. Within the first 1 year, we were up to 800 persons in attendance in the church. But fortunately, 2005, demolition started. Got to Old Karamo. By 2006, it got to Idu. And the headquarters church plus about 5 other churches, big churches. So the RFI demolition then engulfed it and it came down. I tried getting land from the FCDA, did everything possible, followed up. We met a very serious bottleneck, so we couldn't get land until that time. The demolition came. So I moved to my branch in Guagua. First to worship last in Dukarmo, takeover headquarters on March 1st Sunday. Second Sunday, 2006, I resumed in Guagua. And I met the blocks. They built it to roofing level. So I completed the roofing, started over 500 persons were there for worship on Sunday. So by September, El Rufai came in there with his bulldozers. That one also came down. So
that's the second one.
Second one, yes. So I moved to the town. The hall I got was very narrow hall. So the first Sunday I had the service there, everywhere there was flooded with people. The hotel was just like a mess. No, people could not pass because the hall was too small. That's the one I could pay that time. And we're there for some times and moved to Area 3. One place in Area 3 there. We're there for some times. And I could not muster the finance for the city. I had to manage what we could manage, and then this branch had issue. The pastor had issue. I disciplined him and the assistants. And when I disciplined, the church said, "Please come, help us." I came down. 2009. I've been here.
Okay.
Yes, which I thought I was going to be able to do just few period, then check out, get the land, build something, let the headquarters come back. Because here I cannot have combined service. It's too small. Yes. So that is how it has been as far as the church world is concerned.
Okay.
So by God's grace, by next January coming, I'll be 38 years as a pastor. I started pastoral work 1984 January in the Bible Church.
Okay.
So it will be 38. I'm 38 now at the altar.
Yes.
And then 39 by next year January.
Okay.
So that is it.
Thank you very much. Very educative, very inspiring. But my question is, we will take it after the break though. How did you cope? I know, sometimes people say because we are preaching the word of God, we shouldn't have challenges. I mean, why, if God is watching us, why should things like this happen? What was the conflict in your mind, and how did you keep going? Well, we will get that answer after the break.
Thank you.
Let's take a short break. Welcome back. It's still Heroes Walk, and I'm Susan Ozono. Well, before we went on the break, we were talking to Reverend Dr. Etietop Hanson, who is the presiding overseer of Overcoming World Assembly over here in Kubwa. He has been telling us a lot. Now we want to find out, how did he cope in that place? Some people call it a dark place, others call it desert time, other people call it the process. But you see, that place where there's a conflict between what you saw and what you are seeing now, and how do you cope when people are beginning to doubt what you have said because it looks like your reality is not portraying exactly what they imagined should be? How will you cope in that place?
Thank you, Susan. Actually, challenges are those things the Lord uses to train us. Whatever the conflict, whatever the trouble, if you are a child of God, there is an inner comfort, the comfort of the Holy Spirit at every point in time during a dark time. That is what I know helped me and what is helping every other child of God. It was not easy. That was the time that not only was the church and the pastor having issue of movement, the members had to move. Some of them had no money. They used to come to church, complain to pastor about what they were going through, but they saw the pastor going through what they were going through, and so I had to add the members' burden to that of the church and mine. By 2005, I asked the Lord, I said, God, I tried getting land, I could not. And I don't have paper for this property. Will they demolish this church? The Lord said, yes, they will demolish it. I now ask, I say, if they will demolish, where I'm staying, they will demolish it. He said, yes, they will demolish it. I said, what do I do? He said, move. That was 2005. The demolition was going on in Old Karen. He said, move. And that is why I asked, where do I move to? The answer was not given. I had to ask my leaders to go help me look for accommodation. I mentioned Warimpa, I mentioned Ukubwa, and other place, Jabi. So the sample prices, the one who could pay, were able to pay for accommodation in Kubwa. So I moved into Kubwa. And that one, I moved before the demolition. So by 2006, demolition actually came. It was not easy. So I had to literally join in the dismantling of what we needed to dismantle before the bulldozer could get there, because they gave us that chance and say, remove the something. So we were able to dismantle the children's church we were using for school. Was very large hall. Dismantle them, and then the money from there I told the pastor, sell these things, whatever you can sell, and make money. I mean, share among yourselves. Some of them were on full time, some part time. They shared the money to help them get accommodation elsewhere where we have to go start something, because that also help us to be able to start some churches, some branches. So we have to dismantle, move some things from there. We thought we could save them. If I knew, I would have just sold them out. So some places I later found my people went to pack those things. They were just, everything there became useless. So we moved out and tried to see how we can get a pastor settled in Mandela. They entered vehicle to go and survey the places, to Kuje, to Kukwa, to Maraba, to places. So they moved and they choose each place. The other pastor chose Mandela, the other one Maraba, and the other one Gauraka in Kaduna Road. The rest, some of them didn't want to follow me again. They collected their money, they moved out and found places and started their churches.
Interesting.
Yeah, so at that moment, they saw that I was very honest. Whatever money we were able to realize, because there was no cash then, whatever money we realized, I had to tell them how much is it. They told me, I said, share among yourselves. What is it? I said, you take this, and they saw how honest I was, because I already had a place to stay. They needed to have, and I said, when you get there, locate even a private primary school, start something, and that's what they did. If you get to our church in Mandela, it's a very large church now. And that is what happened. They started from a private primary school. If you get to Mararaba, it was the same thing. Get to Masaka, it was the same thing. And all that. And Gauraka, they started from a warehouse, and many like that. That is what happened. We're able to get over that.
So the challenge even helped the church to expand more.
Yes.
So there was a blessing in everything that was going on.
Exactly.
Wow. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Quickly, we want to talk about your book.
I
know you have authored a lot of books. But what is striking for me and striking for some people I've spoken to is how to choose your baby's sex.
Yes.
And we want to know what brought the inspiration and how it has been accepted by people, and the results also from the news, the feedback you've gotten. How has it been?
I told you that my papa could not train me, but I came out, I trained myself. Deeper Life Bible Church also, when I had admission, I wanted to read medicine. But because of the course combination in the school I attended, there was no chemistry and there was no physics. Because of that, I could not. So I said, I did biology. Can they accept me as a nurse? I just want to be in the hospital. So I had admission, and that time there was a Reverend Isaac Oriak. He was sent to Abuja as the state overseer. So I went to him. I said, I have admission. I want to go to school. He said, school? I said, yes. He said, the church is too young. If I leave and go to school, the church will not survive it. That I should forget it. So really, that time we used to obey like fools, and I obeyed. I dropped the admission. 1994, another overseer came. I said, I want to go to International Correspondence College. They use Assemblies of God school, Bible school in Plateau, in Jos. That one said, if you go to school, all your leaders will be going to school. Please, Hanson, go and keep that thing. And I also stopped. So I was able to further my education after the Bible Church. From there, I went to, with the first and second degree in the Bible College, I went to Foreign Bible School. I went to University of Abuja and did postgraduate diploma in education. Okay. I was to go into PhD. The demolition came 2006. I had to hold on. I would still go there. So I'm not a medical doctor. How did you come about an idea of writing a book on how to choose the sex of your baby?
Yes.
So that becomes an issue to some people. I tell them I'm not a medical doctor, but I am a marriage counselor. I plan having 3 boys and 1 girl. Because my Abba had many children, but boys were like an issue to him. He had, in his lifetime, he lost 13 children, and 11 were alive. Himself was a lone child. My grandpa was a lone child, so my Papa provoked that he must have many children. Unfortunately, he lost as many as 13. And I became the first child, born to the first son. He had grandchildren before myself came up from the female children. So my papa loved male children a lot. My grandmother and my stepmother had 4 girls, and the only boy, after the operation in the hospital, they brought the child out, the child died. So the woman used to groan, and I saw the burden on her. So when I came myself, first child, girl, second child, girl, third child, girl, I said, wow, I love boys. So what's the matter? Now, my wife was on family planning because we really want to plan and know how to have a boy. So, but instead of having the boy, we couldn't even get in the next girl. So for 7 years, there's a gap between the last girl and this boy is 7 years.
7 years.
Yes. So within the period, we were trusting God for having at least a boy, which the boy eventually came. But before that, we went to hospital, met medical doctors. We talked to them about something. They said, okay, it's the family planning that your wife did. With time, she will be over. She stopped it for all these years, and nothing came. We even met Dr. Wada. That time, Wada was reigning in Abuja for IVF. So we met him, paid all that we needed to pay to verify what is the matter. Wada said, there's no problem. But madam, do you have any child? Madam said, my wife said, yes. So how many? Said 3. Said 3? He said, yes. Why are you still looking for another child? My wife said, because we want a boy. They are all girls. Dr. Wada was visibly angry and said, look at these people here. They are looking for even one, whether boy or girl. And you have 3 and you are still disturbing about having a baby. So he was enraged. And the way he spoke to my wife came back home crying. And that time she was 38. So myself, with what I know about childbearing and menopause, I know that she wasn't on menopause, that there was something wrong. So I told her, don't be angry, that he's a doctor and not God. So I encouraged her, And I was still reading. I was open to research. Well, how could somebody get in this world? There must be a knowledge of how to get a boy or girl. Everyone was telling me, it's from God. It's from God. It's God that decides. I said, I don't agree. So I kept searching. Until I came across a document written by many experts.
Okay.
In fact, it was even in a newspaper publication. I read the entire thing. I said, okay, I said it. So I kept that thing. I decided I will apply it.
Okay.
Also, the boy came. We had a boy.
Okay.
And then another woman came, and she had 4 boys. And that is, we had 4 girls rather, and needed a boy. The husband said, if you can give me a boy, I'll give you a car.
Wonderful.
So the woman ran to me and said, I need the car.
Wow.
Please, how do I do it? I said, let me show you what I discovered. I brought the write-up as raw as it was, and I told her, I said, please, you have to return back. Read this and make sure you follow up. And that during the menopause, during the ovulation, when the woman is ovulating, and you are sure ovulation has occurred, hit it.
Okay.
That you are sure to have a boy child.
Okay.
Whether you are blind, whether you are old, whether you are insane, whoever the person is, educated, a priest or whoever, just when you are sure ovulation has occurred, hit it. You are going to have a boy child. So I told the woman, I said, when is your ovulation? She said, I don't know. And now from what I read, and I asked her, I said, the ovulation could occur between the time after your menses. There is a dry period. There is a mucus period, the first mucus. If you hit that time, the baby, the body of the woman could preserve the sperm till the ovulation occurs, and that will be a girl, because the boy cell would have died. The Y chromosome would have died off, but that of the X will stay on for up to 5 days in a woman, waiting for ovulation to occur. And that's why a girl child is always the result. So I educated her on what I knew the experts said. She went, applied it, and she had a boy and named the boy Ariel. So I dedicated this book to the boy called Ariel. So Ariel is the number 5th child that became the first boy to that family.
Okay.
And so, and other people came. I gave them as raw as it is. So I then started developing my testimony, and they read more, and I decided to package what the experts say about sex selection. From various experts. And that is what the key of this book is. I told the people what I had to write as a counselor. I also devoted 2 chapters for what experts say. So that people could go for any option they want. I quote the author. And so that is what is helping the people. When I took the book to David Barrow, a gynecologist then in the University or Teaching Hospital Abuja, first of all he said that it should be anyone that God gives, and why do I bother myself? I said, I know, sir. I know what I passed through. I know what people come to my table to cry, and that I want you to just read through it. If it doesn't worth it, then you don't write any forward. When he finished writing, he has told me he has finished. I went to collect. He was so excited. He said, you are a prolific writer. Reverend, you are a prolific writer. What is here is great. And if you read the foreword, he poured his heart out. And anybody that wouldn't mind what others may tell them, demon has no right to manipulate the sex of anybody's baby. The choice is between the husband and the wife, and it has to be with timing and ovulation period. If you need a baby girl and you wait until ovulation has occurred, you won't get it. Even if you like, fast, pray, do anything. It is a principle. God does not move principles. He leaves principles as they are.
Okay.
If you like, sleep and meet your wife. If you like, be awake and meet your whatever you do. Once there is the law of timing is obeyed, as far as ovulation is concerned, the baby boy or a baby girl will result. Whether a doctor agrees with you or not, or does not agree with you. The expert who studied this and came up with answers, they could only be excited that what they advise works out. That's why they call it advice. So what the medical expert advice. And so that is what comes. And it has been a blessing to many people.
Wow. Thank you. I actually met someone who is also a testifier to the impact of this book.
Okay.
Yes, and it really caught my attention. I believe that there are so many answers that people have out there. There are so many questions. And there are so many things that have made a lot of homes divide, made a lot of people enter depression. And I believe that God can pick somebody and give the person the wisdom to become an answer. I feel that if you really want answers to your questions, your mind should be open. I believe that this is one of the things, an answer to a lot of questions, whether we like it or not, whether we say sex comes from God. There are a lot of people, a lot of homes that have been broken because they didn't have one particular sex or the other. I have met someone that, in fact, the man had just slumped and died because he was looking for a male child. If this will answer your question, then what are you waiting for? So is there a way they can reach out? Is there a way they can get their hands on this book? Where is it?
Yes, this book is on Amazon.
Okay.
Yes, there's a link there on the Amazon. We'll soon our website is ready.
Okay.
And we'll place it there. They get to Amazon and they search for the book. It is there. I always send the link regularly on our Facebook page so that people could click it and go there anywhere worldwide. Apart from that, if they write to me that they need the book either for distribution or copy for themselves, I will give them at etietophanson@gmail.com. They'll be able to get it.
Thank you for sharing your story with us. We wanted to ask you your favorite hymn. If there's a song that encourages you, that you love so much, do you have any song like that?
Yes, I have.
Which one is it?
And Jesus for me, Jesus for me, all the time, everywhere, Jesus for me. That's one. The other one is, I have decided to follow Jesus. 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 No turning back. No turning back.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Well, we have been talking to Reverend Dr. Etietop Hanson, the presiding overseer of Overcoming Word Assembly here in Kubwa. He has been telling us about his stories, encouraging us, and also telling us the right way to go about things, as well as principles, how to apply principles to your needs. I know that you have learned one or two things from this program. Don't forget to follow us. Come on, check this TV, follow us, and so that you can be updated when we put a new video that will bless you. Also, you can, if you want to sponsor us or you want to partner with us, you can call the number showing on your screen. Well, this is Heroes Walk once again, and I'm Susan Ozono. Thanks for watching.